Early in the springtime, the mud goes very, very deep.
Boston Ray, when you learn how to rap so quick, man? I rap quicker than quicksand. 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 If you learn how to rap so quick, man. Me, I rap quicker than quicksand. Do a slick dance, need a drum with a kick like a kickstand. Here at this Latin mix, man, is it a disc band? Stuck on the bricks like a bricks man. It's up the studio's mix plans. Producer can get mad. It's like you need 6 hands. Sending the chick fans with the wristbands, right? That's why you always get banned. So if you add the 6 hands with 1 kickstand to do a slick dance and mess up studio's mix plans, the producer can get mad at the chick fans with the wristbands, Ray. Why do you rap so quick, man? Who me? I rap quicker than quicksand. 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 Quicker than quicksand.
Yo, I'm density buoyancy bong blazing. You fuck with the true kings cause we amazing. Back in the day, I was always raving. Now we do the research to bring you what you're craving. I rap quicker than quicksand, spit lightning and fire, man. Globies act like we don't understand, we just don't stand under. Now you feel the thunder, hitting you with the wonder. Don't be a classic blunder, and open your mind. Listen close to the kings, and see what you find. Talking to Globies is like leading the blind. Like a horse to water, can't make them drink. But the least we can do is make them think. Cause if we plant the seeds, they might just grow. You never know, like levels underground, how low does it go? Me and Ray, yo, been surveying the land. Been at this a while, rapping quicker than quicksand. 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 Quicker than quicksand.
Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. You wanna rhyme with us and ride rush like a virus? Try and time us quicker than quicksand. Put your money where your mouth is and your life in his hands. It is but his plans. It is if it quicker than quicksand like nobody's business. These raps are so dope you'll never be sicker than this, man. I learned it from Christian. Tell him I miss him. Into the distance, a different opinion. Men on a mission. He took me with him. Back in high school, my nickname was the Hitman. I hope this a hitman. I'll never fit in. Thank you for listening. The earth isn't spinning. Quicker than quicksand. 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 Quicker than quicksand.
I rap quicker than quicksand. Slap you with my pimp hand. We doing this shit, man. Fuck ceiling fan, man. Shilly assholes, just get out of my way. Cold leader types, you're just fake and gay. Cause if you're in the truth game and you're fake as fuck, the truth comes out and then you're stuck. Stuck in the mud, just like Elmer Fudd. You wanna cut me and draw some blood? Well, good luck with that. You must be smoking crack cause I'm a ninja. And this is what the truth brings you. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Hey yo, I'm quicker than quicksand.
Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand.
Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Quicker than quicksand. Hey yo, quicker than quicksand.
K-Red, 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 K-Red. Welcome to the Boston Ray Mud Flood Adventure Show. It's been so long since this old world cement was stone, since they invented televisions and phones and all the staged events that have yet to make a dent in the dome. Dent in the dome, man, I'm mentally prone to defend things to me, a sentimentality grown. Used to ways in which I found truth through the ground zero soil in which my roots grew. If this is something that you're not used to, then take out your earbuds and lose the Bluetooth. This ain't a fashion model runway competition, sitting with hover hen and grinning all cringe at the skeletons of the wealthy, unhealthy slim, picking Z's. Y'all need to get the shit in gear and pull them stick shiftings out of the park positions, burning asphalt and cement institutes a lot of friction. Gotta stick with a lot of pistons on a mission to spot a quick come up. Mr. Hit a lick from sundown to sun up. Mr. Talk a lot of shit, but don't have the grit to fire a live round from the gun sucked. Mr. Drunk is a skunk, everyone a punk, but when the shit hits the fan, better make sure it's plugged. Yeah, plugged in like some kid on a 3-year drug binge, becoming unhinged, influenced by thug friends, and one stint that he served in the county jail, with a no-nonsense attitude that's no fail, but no weight on his frame so frail. Old stale thoughts float flannel through a network of written language with no braille. For those who are spiritually blinded, I pretty much just described in as little words as possible, avoiding all obstacles, call lots of bullshit and nonsense, call through all the stops in, bumping Hobson from Black Swan to Boston, and back over to the left coast in Compton. Compton. This is the Boston Ray. Boston Ray. Mud flood, flood, flood. Oh, adventure spitting them words, it's intrinsic. The way we've been tricked by the adrenochrome sipping from kids tripped out of their eye sockets, extracted from the pupil. All seeing eye around your neck, wrap the noose pull. Not trying to throw you off course, only being useful in providing the logical. This form of information about the way the United Nations has divided nations and supplied the nations with unsurvivable situations. I sit for days in a raised tent, used to pray when I felt the need to speak to Jesus, felt the teeth pinch of the devil's rejects. Whoever he is, he was, or he's been, came here to kill, steal, and destroy forever heathen. Better we win on the spiritual level, spirit over heathen than the physical, cause it's invisible, yet controls all the living souls. I've been giving wholehearted advice to those with ears, those whose non-bias clear, either through violence and fear, a couple Miller High lights and tears. Time is right here, yet so far away, far, 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 far away. Ladies and gentlemen, I may be on that marijuana pot's hit again, and it's not riddling. They've been caught fiddling with the wrong citizen. This has been the Boston Ray MFA. Yeah.
Level home. There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to
Late Night Live.
Community at large. For many years, the flat Earth community at large was in agreement that the world is a level, motionless plane, as evidenced by our common sense, everyday experience, and countless scientific experiments, including the Michelson-Morley, Michelson-Gale, Sagnac, Airy's failure, and observable realities such as perfectly circular star trails around a stationary pole star, and the constellations remaining in their relative positions to one another for all of recorded history. Recently, however, a few flat earthers have revived Leo Ferrari's old Flat Earth Society claim that the world is not, in fact, a level, motionless plane, but rather a constantly upwards rising plane. These people cite experiments such as a helium balloon moving forward in an accelerating car, or a cork inside a drop bottle of water momentarily ceasing its descent while mid-air, as proof positive that Earth cannot be a stationary plane. They claim the only possible way to explain these results is to assume Earth to be constantly rising at 9.8 meters per second, or approximately 22 miles per hour, straight upwards. There is some debate amongst them regarding whether this upward motion is a constant velocity or an acceleration, but these new upward rising earthers have all recently come into agreement that our flat Earth can no longer be stationary. These upward rising earthers begin their inquiry innocently enough by asking questions about the directional vector of dropped objects, and why dense objects fall downwards rather than upwards or sideways, for example. To this question, I would give the answer that there is a pressure gradient formed by the amount of stacked air, water, or land over you in a column, which increases the pressure, weight, and density the farther down you go, and that defines direction, while things like helium balloons fall up, not down, proving there is no downward directional bias. Unsatisfied with this answer, upward rising earthers continue their inquiry by asking, why then does Earth have a pressure gradient stacked in this particular fashion, with the densest layer at the bottom rather than the top or sides? Now, at this point, I would say such a line of questioning is tantamount to asking, why is water wet? Or why is fire hot? It's like asking, why don't we walk upside down on the sky and look up to the ground? It's similar to asking, why don't our arms grow out of our pelvis and legs grow out of our torso? As anyone who has spent significant time with a 4-year-old knows, the question of, but why, if asked long enough, eventually leads to an infinite regress of explanations that can only be ended with the true but potentially unsatisfying metaphysical answer of, it is that way because that's how it was created to be. Rather than accept that Earth was simply created to have the particular arrangement of density layering that it does, upward rising earthers instead claim that Earth must be a constantly upwards rising plane, and that this constant vertical motion is the only thing that can explain the directional vector. Now, While this could make for an interesting speculation, the fact of the matter is that dropping a water bottle with a cork in it, or watching a helium balloon go forward in a moving car, are not demonstrations of the Earth constantly rising upwards. At best, these demonstrations provide tangential evidence for their line of questioning, but in no way prove their assumption that Earth is a constantly rising plane. In fact, upward rising Earthers are forced to pile assumption upon assumption in order to defend their new dogma. Assumption number 1. Their first assumption, in order to answer the question of directional vector, going against all common sense, our everyday experience, and countless scientific experiments proving Earth to be completely motionless, they make the grand assumption that Earth is constantly rising upwards 9.8 meters per second. Assumption number 2. In order to have a world that constantly rises upwards forever, they are now forced to make a second assumption, which is that there exists an infinite expanse of empty space above our flat Earth for the constantly rising world to rise into. Assumption number 3. Next, they are forced to assume that the entire atmosphere is somehow fixed like glue to rise perfectly along with the upward rising Earth, because otherwise, the upward rising Earth would constantly be crashing up into the bottoms of birds, planes, helicopters, and everything else in flight above the forever upwards rising Earth. Assumption number 4. Finally, they are forced to assume that the sun, moon, and stars are also all constantly rising 9.8 meters per second, somehow fixed along with the rising atmosphere. Otherwise, of course, the upward rising Earth would crash into them as well. So rather than accept the order of density layering on Earth to simply be as it is, upward rising Earthers prefer to ignore their common sense, everyday experience, and countless scientific experiments proving a stationary Earth, in order to make assumption upon assumption upon assumption upon assumption fourfold in an attempt to answer their inquiry. Since upward rising Earthers claim the Earth, the luminaries, the atmosphere, and everything in it are all constantly rising together, there is no way for an experimenter to actually step outside this reference frame to confirm or deny their supposition. And this shows the ultimate futility of the upward rising Earthers' entire argument. Since no one can escape Earth's reference frame in order to observe or measure this supposed vertical movement of the Earth, its atmosphere, and all the luminaries, there is no way to verify or falsify the hypothesis. Therefore, when questioning the directional vector of density layering on our flat Earth, you can pile assumption upon assumption to arrive at this speculative and unprovable conclusion, or you can simply allow reality to be as it is.
Monday.com's AI blocks are a total game changer.
Excuse me if I find that hard to believe.
You know that llamas are biologically...
This hour brought to you by llamas.
Yeah, thank you. All right, how's my sound? Yo. It was definitely last minute. So let's give him a shout out. Sean, how do you say that? Alki?
I do not like my voice.
I always thought it was Sean Iike.
Like most people. Sorry.
Mr.
I don't like the way my voice sounds on recording. What if I talk like this? Would I like it better? Maybe I should talk deeper. Hey, how's it going?
You should try to talk like a disc jockey from like the 80s.
Well, I can already barely talk. I have like brain aneurysms constantly shooting into my neuron structures.
Mr. Super's here.
Whatever that is.
Jehovah is here.
Welcome to the show.
Chilling.
Welcome.
Angela Boom Baby Carson.
Rye Russ. Oops, on my pictures. I got to shave. Hold on.
Rye Russ is here.
Drew
Duncan. I don't know if I missed you. I didn't mean to.
Who is on this panel?
We have a ton of people. So this is called...
CallFourZero. Hey,
welcome.
CallFourZero.
So what's going on?
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to have you.
Welcome,
Right
Call
back.
for Zero.
I got to shave really quick. I look horrible. I'll be right back.
All right. So I invited CallFourZero on tonight to have a talk about the Earth is rising. I'm not saying it is rising, but it's basically what you guys, the way that you guys are trying to explain how gravity works, right?
Well, I'll start by saying I like Eric Dubé. You know, I didn't like his attitude because he was really harsh to me like 3-4 years ago. And I didn't understand why. He just had an attitude, but he's mellowed out a bit. But this last 10-minute segment is a serious string of straw mans. It's like,
What I just played.
They say carrots aren't good for you. So if you eat coleslaw, they're saying that's all straw man. Completely straw man.
That's why,
like I said, I do like the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I like him too. But what I'm saying is, like, I just wanted to get you on to have your side of the story so you can explain it, because I haven't heard it from one of you guys yet. Really, I haven't really talked to you about it. So, I don't know. Should we just get started? Should I just put your thing up now?
Yeah, that'd be good. You know, and especially when Eric finished with, they can't simply accept how it is. Now, where have we heard that before, man? Come on, you know. Okay, let's play the video.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, this whole thing kind of reminds me of like, almost like when you first found out about flat Earth and you were like, no, it's still a globe for a while.
Right.
And now people are like, actually, it's moving up. And people are like, no. It's like, I don't know. I mean,
no.
So you can prove it. You can prove that it's moving up. So, all right, I'll let you explain it. I don't want to put words in.
The bottom line is gravity is not a pull; it's a push, and it's not a belief; it's physics. And this video touches on all of that. And if we could play it through, then address like bit by bit, that'd be fine.
You want to play it all? You want to play it all the way through, or do you want me to stop it at certain points so you can talk?
I think if you play it through and just note the minutes that you want to go over again, if you do, because as the video goes on, questions are answered, you know, down the line. So it's it wouldn't be a good idea for me to like try to answer something at a minute 45.
Yeah. I'll try to pay attention close to it, and then if I have any questions, I'll ask you at the end.
Yeah, it's 15
there
minutes.
There we go. I'll take notes if I have to.
This ain't it. This is the same one. Oh, hold on. Get this one out of here. Yeah, I wasn't sure about this video either, but I do remember what he's talking about, though.
Is that the Katy Perry?
When Rising Earth came around a long time ago, and then it kind of faded out, that's when he made that video. I mean,
shout out to Katy Perry.
It's not like this is new. This has been around, right?
Yeah. This video, it opens with 2 minutes of flat level Earth, and then it goes into inertia test. That's where it gets kind of
all right. Let's see what it shows.
Hello everyone, CallFourZero. In this video, I'm on Ray's channel talking about level Earth and upward vector, presenting some clips of various tests, and talking theory afterwards. So let us begin.
Earth is not flat.
Correct.
Okay.
So we're introducing boxes that provide factual information at the top of results that have shown themselves to turn up a lot of information that is counterfactual, such as searching for the Earth is flat on YouTube, where you see a lot of...
Your response is to put a box saying, nope, the Earth is not flat.
Okay, Mr. Douche and Ms. Downs have their ideas pretty much set in stone. They went to make sure nobody gets polluted with real information. We can see from this high altitude balloon over 100,000 feet, it's level. The next video are wind fans offshore. They are spaced approximately a half mile from each other heading out. This video represents what we should see from the beach regarding Earth curve ocean blockage. zoom camera shows the bases of the fans in the distance. This is a first inertia test. We have a socket on a ruler being dropped that all drops equally, but one end is touching Earth that appears to be pushed up, breaking the socket free from the high end of the stick. Let's look at this again. Shouldn't it all fall together? Isn't the pull of gravity equal on all the parts? Is something pushing up on that right end of the ruler, breaking the socket free? Here's a plank with a heavy sinker. Same idea. It all goes down together until it's attached to Earth, and then the right side is pushed up, breaking the heavy weight free. And now here's a light object, a cork. Same thing, the right end of the stick is being pushed up. All this is done with a $5 driveway experiment. You don't need vacuum chambers or hypothetical space. Okay, here's a basic inertia test. When force is applied on one end of the stick, the other end reacts and moves in the opposite direction. A force creating motion. Same idea here. All right, here's a cup with
put someone on the
fluid.
ground.
Air is injected into the cup,
Hold on.
forming bubbles.
Let me let Sinjin talk for a second. So what do you see, Sinj? What's going on?
I just said that's how you put someone on the ground in a. If you're to knock someone down, you put their feet up and you put them down, right? So their feet end up in the air and their head, right?
So CallFourZero, what is he trying to say? Though?
Ninja principles.
So no matter what, so basically what I saw was on that stick. No matter, I'll rewind just a little bit. No matter what type of weight he puts on, or it's still what it bounces. Like, what is he trying to say with this?
Like, share, and subscribe.
It's not saying anything. It's an observation that pull gravity is the narrative. So when the stick is not touching the ground on the right end, it all comes down like gravity says it comes down. But when a part of the stick is in contact with the rising surface, there is a force there that kicks the left end down, and the inertia of the cork, it stays where it wants to stay, and that demonstrates that there's a push upward. That's what that's about.
Okay, so it's showing that there's a push upward.
Correct.
Okay, let's see it again. I'm just gonna put the volume. I'll put the
It
volume.
appears to be pushed up, breaking the socket free from the high end of the stick.
Okay.
Let's look at this again.
I see what you're saying now.
Shouldn't it all fall together? Isn't the pull of gravity equal on all the parts?
So, like, because it comes apart and the stick
Is
is
something
falling
pushing
down
up
first.
on that right end of the ruler,
If
breaking
the
the
right
socket
end of the
free?
stick was a half inch above the ground, that weight on the left would not move because there's no force. But the force pushing up on the right end of the stick, the object on the left wants to remain where it is. Newton's first law, it's inertia.
Almost like a seesaw.
Well, it's an observation. It's a physical observation. It's not a belief. It's a physical observation.
Okay, we'll move on from this one. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. That's all.
Here's a plank with a heavy sinker. Same idea. It all goes down together until it's attached to Earth, and then the right side is pushed up, breaking the heavy weight free. And now here's a light object, a cork. Same thing. The right end of the stick is being pushed up. All this is done with a $5 driveway experiment. You don't need vacuum chambers or hypothetical space. Okay, here's a basic inertia test.
So what it's showing is that the Earth is rising, so it pushes it up, or
What it's showing is anything that's in contact with the system that's rising will observably be under the influence of an upward push. That's what it's showing. If you're in contact with Earth, it's up. If you're not, then it's not up. It's decelerating.
so
Like if I have something in my hand and I drop it, it initially continues up, and we continue up with the rising system. It decelerates and appears to drop. And this is physics. It's not a belief. It's physics.
all right.
When force is applied on one end of the stick, the other end reacts and moves in the opposite direction. A force creating motion.
So basically, when one side goes down,
Same
the other
idea
one.
here.
One side goes down, the other one goes up. Basically.
Yeah, it's the Newton's first law again. It's
Okay.
it'll remain at rest unless acted upon by a force.
Okay. I'm getting it. I'm starting.
Right.
All right. Here's a cup with fluid. Air is injected into the cup, forming bubbles. And in free fall, the buoyancy density idea is not working. It just simply meets the rising Earth. There's no density causation for a bubble moving up here. It's not moving. There's nothing to push the bubble up. The final test is from William. Here we go.
Recreating density and buoyancy in 3 different vectors utilizing motion of a contained reference frame. In the first experiment, I'll be using a container with water, a red ping pong ball, and a steel ball. The ping pong ball and the steel ball will always displace relative to the direction of the force that's applied. For example, when I accelerate a container to the right, the container pushes the water in the same direction, creating a pressure gradient. The water is then able to push anything that's less dense, like the ping pong ball, in that same direction. That is what we would call buoyancy. However, the water is not dense enough to push the steel ball like the ping pong ball, so the steel ball remains in the same position. The steel ball only appears to move in the opposite direction of the buoyant force because the camera is also moving with the container. The ping pong ball has true motion and the steel ball has apparent motion. The same principles apply when I accelerate in any other direction.
Drew Duncan just asked a question. So when we say the Earth is rising, is it also expanding like the universe?
That
Nation.
is somewhat addressed later, but for a short answer, an upward vector plane cannot be a ball shape. So it could be the number one globe debunker. It probably is, because it's just impossible for the globe to be moving outward in all directions at once all the time. So there is no globe.
Yeah, I get that. But so FE Nation says nothing is spinning or rising, flat and stationary. And that's kind of, that's how I feel.
Earth ain't no go.
This is I'm not trying to offend anybody. What I'm trying to say is all right, this is my question. Just because these experiments like show stuff like in a jar or whatever. Like this is a jar of water with some balls on it, like ping pong balls or whatever, right? And it does something, and it does what you guys are saying it's supposed to do. How does that convert over to the Earth? Like this isn't an Earth. This is a plastic jar. You know what I mean? Like, how is this the same thing as what would happen on the Earth?
Yeah, the only way I could answer that question in less than a month's time is that you're going to have to look into it and take it down yourself or accept it either way. But it's just not. It's just like when you first heard flat Earth, you're going, "That's crazy." I've been in the ocean. I've flown an airplane. That's your knee jerk reaction. But
no, you're right. You're right. I tell people that there's no curve a lot, and like when I'm on the airplane or whatever, and like their first thing is like, "Oh, I flew plenty of times. I saw the curve," and I'm like, "No, you didn't, because I flew all over the place." People look out the plane, and somehow in their head they still see a curve when there's no curve.
You know what convinced me is I saw so many Star Trek episodes of them entering the atmosphere of this strange world and circling around it and using their communicators. I just accept them. Okay, that's what it is.
Angela said,
totally. In books I read, it's so cool because it would be great, right? Like you're coming in to this spinning ball and you're like, oh, cool. Now I'm going to keep pace with it and go through this cloud formation. And oh, wow, there's the massive land and it's spinning. Oh, and now I'm with the land that was stopped spinning now. Wow, it's not spinning anymore. That's cool, whatever.
And it's funny, if you look up on the internet.
I love it. That
the Coriolis effect.
People are afraid of it. I think it's great.
When you look at gravity on the internet and they say, well, these large, massive bodies pull each other. And then you say, well, how about a gas giant? Like they're saying all these big balls are gas. You're saying, oh, yeah, but there's kind of a solid center in the middle and that. You know, it's just like Band-Aid after Band-Aid. It's ridiculous.
It's so dense.
The whole thing starts out with
the gas becomes solid.
Measurements and all that start out with imaginary math problem. Everything starts out from this wrong math equation in the beginning. You know what I mean?
And Neptune smells like fart.
The distance to the moon, all those are based on this. Here, I'll look it up.
I mean,
Uranus smells like
this theory goes against the biblical cosmology. You know, like he set the earth on its foundation so it can never be moved. You know, and that's one of my major problems with it. But if I see something that shows me otherwise, I am going to change my mind. Let's just move forward.
In the second experiment, I'll be using a tube with water, an air bubble, and a steel ball. To accelerate the container down, I will be using a resistance band. As you can see, when connected to the Earth, we can experience a force creating density and buoyancy. The air bubble is being pushed up, and the steel ball appears to move down in the opposite direction of the buoyant force.
So it's basically like one side goes up, one side goes down. When the other side goes down, and the same thing here it's showing, right? Okay. It's like, this reminds me of like one of those toys that the kids get, like a tube with like a bubble with like glitter. Like a wand that they give to the girls.
You can also see the air bubble is flattened where the force is being applied. However, when I release the container into free fall, density and buoyancy completely
we've
vanish.
showed this before.
The air bubble is no longer being pushed
I remember
and
it.
turns into a sphere, showing that there isn't a force.
What's up? We've
actually showed this before, haven't we?
Yep.
I don't know.
We've covered everything. I remember we did this.
Force present in free fall.
It was like 6 months ago or something.
Yeah, William is saying, you know, that ball of air in that liquid
When I
should be
actually
going up, but it
accelerate the
isn't because there's no push at the bottom. That's why it's not going up.
Where? This one is going up. This bubble.
If this device was being pushed up, the fluid at the bottom being denser than the bubble pushes the bubble up. But as it's in free fall, there's nothing pushing it up, so there is no gravity, density, buoyancy there. That's what he's saying.
So then why is it if nothing's pushing, if it's not pushing it up, then why is it moving up?
He just showed you it's stationary.
All right, let's see.
Container down, we can see density and buoyancy invert. The air bubble is being pushed down,
Oh yeah,
and the
all right.
steel ball appears to move up. Not only does acceleration require a force, acceleration will always cause displacement of solid surface and gas, proving.
So something pushed the ball up. Is that what he just said? The ball went down and then back up?
Generally, a lighter object in a denser material will move in the direction of the force, whether it be up, down, sideways, and he's just demonstrating that.
But how does this prove what the Earth is doing? I don't get it. Like that's where you guys are losing me. Like, how do you scale this to the Earth?
It's an accumulation of observation. If somebody's willing to look at it and give it a month and say, well, I know that it can't be moving up because, and then find that they can't answer that question.
But we don't know we don't know if the Earth is made out of these same materials that he has this tube thing made out of. Like, we don't really know what God made the Earth out of. Like,
this is an experiment of gravity and the effects. So,
okay,
that's what's going on here.
Maybe I sound dumb. I'm just trying to figure it out. All right.
That objects don't accelerate down in free fall.
See, the free fall, there is no buoyancy.
In this video, I'll be showing that flames always follow the direction of.
So wait, in the free fall, there is no buoyancy. There should be buoyancy.
And well, there isn't. If it's a bubble in a liquid, shouldn't it be going up?
Yes.
Okay, and it's not.
And it wasn't. What was it doing? Just staying in the same spot, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. I got that.
The force. Flames are less dense than air, so depending on the direction of the force pushing on the air, that will also determine what direction the flames get pushed.
Real quick though, if it's staying in the same spot, right? What does that prove? What is that showing?
That it's Newton's first law. It'll remain at rest because there is no force acting upon it. There is no pull.
Oh, all right. So there's no pull of gravity is what it's showing? There's no pull of anything.
There's no force there until it touches Earth, and then it has the upward push and it travels in the direction of the force.
So what does that mean? If it has to touch Earth to go back up?
It has to, yes, correct. Because if it's not in contact with Earth, there is no upward vector, there is no buoyancy.
So what is that really showing though?
That Earth is rising.
That's showing that Earth is rising?
It is, yeah.
Example, when I have a flame in a container with air surrounding it, as soon as I apply a force to the right, there's a greater compression of air to the left that is then able to push anything that's less dense, like the flame, in the same direction as the force. When I apply a force to the left, the greater compression of air to the right is then able to push the flame to the left. This can be demonstrated and repeated 100% of the time. The flame will always get pushed in the same direction as the force. When I actually apply a force down, we can see the greater compression of air switch to the top of the container, pushing the flame down, showing that there is a force present. However, when I release the container into free fall, there is no compression of air in the container, so the flame is not being pushed in any direction and thus turns into a sphere, showing that there isn't a force present. The compression of air in the container is only present when connected to the Earth, pushing the flame up, showing that the force of the Earth is also up. You can have acceleration without a force, and you can have a force without any reaction of the flame.
So basically what he's saying is like when the thing isn't touching the Earth, right, whatever the object is, it's not moving at all. But when it's not touching the Earth, it's usually falling. If something's not touching the Earth, it's falling.
Well, what he's saying is if it's not connected to a rising surface, there is no impetus. There's no up, down, left, right. There's nothing there. There's no buoyancy.
So that proves that the surface is rising.
It's an example. It's a physical example of lack of motion because there's no reaction. But as soon as it touches Earth, there's an upward vector, and it moves up because it has to match the motion, whichever direction it may be. and with a flame, it's obviously up.
So he's saying like, if it works on a small scale, it works on a large scale too. Like
Well, I think it's a little better than Neil deGrasse Tyson saying, well, we don't know what it is. We observe it. We can measure it. At least this is science. This is physical.
No, I know what you mean. He's doing provable, observable, testable, repeatable
Yeah, we
stuff.
don't know what it is.
For me, I've seen UFOs come through stars that opened up and the UFOs came through. So that to me, like, blows everything. I'm like, okay, we don't understand nothing.
Wasn't that the time you stayed up for 3 days and went for a walk at like 4 in the
Negative.
morning?
Don't go there, dude. Don't even fuck around, dude. This is really serious. No one even fucking goes, wow, it's amazing you saw fucking UFOs come through the stars.
He did.
You're calling me a fucking liar? I'm sick of this shit.
No, I know how crazy you get about it.
No, I'm not triggered. By the way, I never even heard the word triggered until that blonde-haired president became our president. I never heard the word triggered before.
Real quick, not to take it off subject because I'm starting to get what you guys are saying. But
hey, Ray,
UFOs come
Singeman
through
did show me
stars,
some,
dude.
Singeman did show me
That's
some
amazing,
stuff
and no one even goes,
sky
wow.
moving. When I went to California. Yeah, what up?
In the
That
last
was nothing compared to what I saw, Ray.
In the last 5 minutes of this video, I lay some of my own theories on there. That's not necessarily the community, but it includes blood flood. I think you're going to like it. Yes.
Not very many people have
that's
seen
the video
the Orion's
presentation.
belt open up and let stars let
An
UFOs
object attached to Earth continues upward with the entire system rising. And an object disconnected from Earth is rising but decelerating. It comes to what you could call a pause and then appears to accelerate downward. It's a slowing to a pause and then a reversal. I saw this in a video 3 or 4 months ago where a car was moving along at about 30 miles an hour. A ball was tossed out the back of it. The ball bounced a couple of times, decelerating, yet continuing to chase the car. Like the ball did not land and distance itself from the car, it chased the car that was already in motion because the ball was still in motion, decelerating. When we see, for example, an arrow fired straight up, it pauses, then returns down, and what appears to be acceleration. Then there are questions of contained system, air pressure, rate of rise of the upward vector system. My investigation shows you can look at various speeds of objects appearing to fall and get an idea of what's going on. I will list 3 examples. A skydiver laying prone with the chute not deployed will reach a maximum speed of 135 miles per hour, whether it be a 500-foot jump or a 5,000-foot jump. The skydiver is going to max out at 135 miles per hour. If the same skydiver rotates and goes into a pin drop position, like a spear, the maximum speed is 165 miles per hour. The air, the ether we breathe, provides resistance. It maxes that second skydiver at 165 miles per hour. So when I got these first 2 numbers, I considered what would be the object that falls the very fastest without external force, without being thrown, without being shot. So I looked up bowling ball. How fast? What's the maximum speed a bowling ball can attain? My early search is about...
Real quick. Someone just came in. Hold on, I gotta see who it was. See who this was. Oh, it's Mr. Super. Hey, what's up, Mr. Super?
What up, Raymond?
Are you watching the program tonight?
Yeah, dude, I'm totally in.
All right. So what do you think? What are you thinking about the rising Earth so far?
Dude, I want answers to a few simple simple questions before I could even really take it seriously. I mean,
Well,
fundamentally, like if you're in a car, if you're in a car, right? You only feel the car pushing you when you're accelerating, and then when you get up to your cruising speed, you don't feel that push any longer. Which means, if we're calling the force of gravity an effect from the Earth rising, the Earth would have to be accelerating, not just moving at a constant speed, but exponentially going faster, which means they can never answer the simple question: how fast are we going?
How fast are we going, CallFourZero?
He won't answer.
You were almost there in the video. You were getting really close.
On the video, he said it. He said
no one could know, actually. So
no, I think you just answered your own question there, Mr. Super. We don't feel like we're accelerating up, so it would be a constant speed, not an accelerating speed.
Well,
see what I'm saying?
It's interesting because
then you wouldn't have any weight. You'd be moving at the same speed, but you'd be weightless.
But when you're in a vehicle, you don't feel like you're moving.
Not necessarily. No. It doesn't have to be accelerating. If let's say you're on an elevator and you're moving at a constant speed, like the speed's not changing. You might be heavier on a scale, but you're not going to feel like you're moving because you're not accelerating anymore. Only when you're changing.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. No, you're going to be heavier on the scale when you're accelerating from 0 to your given speed, and then you're going to be your normal weight.
I'm saying, but once you're at a constant speed, you're not going to feel it anymore because it's a constant rate.
That's how they get away. That's how they get away with pushing gravity.
You see what I'm saying?
Listen. Whoever's right or whoever's wrong doesn't matter. I still want an answer to the question: how fast?
We're almost there in the video. It's coming up in the next.
I did hear that they mentioned the number.
Eric Dubé said it in the video,
but I didn't write it down.
But that
it was Eric Dubé. Okay, there you go.
It's interesting how Eric Dubé, right? If you go down his channel, right? I'm not really like a huge Eric Dubé fan, but every once in a while I find a good video on there. Right? I've talked to him in the chat and stuff. He's all right. But what I'm saying, shout out to Eric Dubé. But what I'm saying is, like, if you go down his channel, right, all these new topics that have been happening, like the 24-hour sun, rising Earth, it's all on his channel. Like, he knew a real lot about it like 10 years ago. It's old videos. It's like this all happened before. It all happened about 10 years ago. And now it's happening again at the same time.
Lined up for you. Here's another rabbit hole. Here's another rabbit hole. Here's another rabbit hole. Listen, Ray, I put a really short video. It's only like 36 seconds long in a public.
Fully agreed.
All right, private chat.
What
do you think, CallFourZero? Is it all right if I switch over to this one real quick? 30, and I'll come back to you.
It's 32 seconds.
I've got about 20 minutes or half an hour. That's okay.
I'm not going to be able to answer what's causing this, and you're not going to be able to answer it either. That's the whole point. Watch.
Okay. All right. Let me switch over. All right, real quick, and I'll go back to that one. There's not that much left of the other one.
Wow, that's crazy.
A jar here, which is full of a chain of beads. There's about 8,000 beads on the chain. It's
that's cool.
And it behaves in this really weird way.
Okay, this is good. I've seen this.
What the? Is that real? That's so crazy cool. That's the weights pulling it out.
No, that's a magic one. I thought you had one of those.
I wonder what would happen if he did that off the roof of a building.
I want to make one now.
All right, so what is that trying to show?
I have enough.
If you make one, if you do it off
that
building,
destroys,
it goes higher and higher.
In order for it to come out of the jar where it's held by gravity or buoyancy or whatever, it's actually going up, which means it's going faster than your rising Earth theory, and it means that it's completely destroying your gravity theory because it's going up before it goes down.
Now I completely lost the spot.
The weight of it,
Yeah,
almost it up.
There's longer videos on that
pretty
subject
cool.
about the chain.
Yeah, but if it was moving up, and it isn't Eric Dubay right about the fact that it would be going like super fast by like it'll be going like
How is it going to
double
go
the speed of
faster
light?
than the Earth? Like if the Earth is rising, how's that change going to go faster than the Earth for a while and then go down?
I don't know.
Come on,
tell
man.
me if this is the part we
It's not
were
going
at.
faster than the Earth. It's going up.
Right. There's more to that whole chain thing.
I'm saying if it were right.
CallFourZero, was it the part
I have
we
a
were
very
at? Or did
flexible mind. I can immediately go into a theory and act like in my mind like I fully believe it because I can see your point of view completely. I don't agree with it. But yeah, I'm really flexible. I can all of a sudden become a rising earther, and you'd be like, "Whoa, he flipped." I'm like, "Nope."
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised that Eric Dubay is so anti-rising Earth.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It. But let me ask you: is this the part of the video we was on still?
Oh,
that's Eric
and
Dubay's
get an idea of what's going on.
Or did I lose the spot?
Well, hey Ray, before you go on, as I said, when Williams' experiments ended, I'm adding my opinion right now.
Okay.
There you go.
So I know it's going to be, hey, it can't be that, it can't be this. And if you want to say that, it's on me. But the physical experiments show the upward vector. This is all my conjecture at the end. So if you want to go after me, bash me, go for it.
I will list 3 examples. A skydiver laying prone with the chute not deployed will reach a maximum speed of 135 miles per hour, whether it be a 500-foot jump or a 5,000-foot jump. The skydiver is going to max out at 135 miles per hour. If the same skydiver rotates and goes into a pin drop position like a spear, the maximum speed is 165 miles per hour. The air, the ether we breathe provides resistance. It maxes that second skydiver at 165 miles per hour. So when I got these first 2 numbers, I considered what would be the object that falls the very fastest without external force, without being thrown, without being shot. So I looked up bowling ball. How fast? What's the maximum speed a bowling ball can attain? My early searches about this were 3 months ago and revealed 300 miles per hour. So in my mind, that's going to be the maximum speed any object will naturally appear to fall, 300 miles per hour. Interestingly, if you search bowling ball now, it doesn't give you that figure. It says, well, it could be 100 miles an hour, it could be 200 miles. It's like they changed it. They didn't want the information to be clean, but when I searched it, it was a clean 300 miles per hour. Taking the resistance of the atmosphere into account, I think it's pretty safe to say it would not reduce the speed 50%. It would have to be pretty thick to reduce the speed 50%. So let's say it reduces the speed 25%. This gives us a mile per hour number on upward vector of approximately 400. I'm not saying this is the speed, but just looking at the overall big picture, it kind of matches up. A few months ago, I considered mud flood theory and rising Earth with a figure of 400 miles per hour for the number. The whole system were rising at 400 or 500 miles per hour and it changed speed. It would be A, B, or C. It would be a very slow decel over about a minute's time, a moderate decel in 15 seconds, or a hard decel in 2 seconds. I think it's pretty safe to say if the system is rising over 300 miles per hour and it stops in 2 seconds, mud, water, any loose debris is going to be lifted 100 yards in the air, perhaps. They would all rise. But your huge block cathedrals, large stone structures, pyramids, they could
Mud flood rising. Remember that shit? We did an episode called that.
probably resist it. This brings into question the reason for building everything so strong and stout and heavy in the old world. Is it because they're aware they have to withstand a periodic reset? I don't know. But it's something to think about. I'll give you a few examples of cities across our level plain in their elevation, over 3,000 feet elevation. The abrupt stop, the local waters rising, 10 to 30 feet of mud along the edge of the buildings. Denver, 5,280 feet. Salt Lake City, 4,200 feet. Mexico City, 7,340 feet. The capital of Turkey, Anara, 3,700 feet. These are some pretty high cities. Without even looking, we know there's going to be mud flooded buildings there. Tides in the upward vector system are a brand new exploration that we're just starting to look into. Williams' theory is that a force is required to move the water. It just doesn't move on its own. So if you think of a pan, like a baking pan with an inch of water in it, you lift the pan, not precisely straight. There'll be a high level at one end and a low level at the other end. The middle, the pivot area, will be very minimally shifted. It'll be mostly the extremes that you'll notice it. So if we look at the flat Earth map, we have Alaska tides being the most extreme at 24 feet. And the tides off Vietnam, pretty significant, 4 meters. That's about 14, 15 feet. And here's a picture of Vietnam, the east coast of Vietnam. Darwin, North Australia, 19 feet. Pretty significant. So it's looking like Alaska and Australia are our extremes, whereas the area between Jamaica and the Mediterranean have next to no tides. The Azores out in the middle of the Atlantic, nothing. Jamaica, almost nothing. Mediterranean, between 6 inches and a foot. Montego Bay, Jamaica, 1 foot. It's more food for thought. And like I said, it's data. We're just piecing together a big picture at this point. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
nice.
Yeah. Good. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for the good presentation. I mean, I could see you really took your time and put it together and stuff.
I started on it last night when we were talking about getting together, and I finished it this morning.
Nice.
I appreciate you coming on. You know what I mean?
Really inspire people to do shit.
I am gonna keep looking into it. Anytime I see anything new on it or anything anyone says is good, I'll check it out. I guess I see what he's trying to say a little bit now, more better than I could see it before. But I still don't. I don't know. I don't think it proves that the Earth is rising to me. Still,
it took me 4 months to get past 95%. I'm like, come on! It took me 4 months. So, yeah,
it's a lot. I mean, you got to really think about it. But I mean, his experiments work. Like whatever, But like if I come up with some kind of experiment that does something, does that prove that that's what the Earth is doing? You know what I mean? That's the way I'm looking at it.
I think it's a close call, but you know how science pushes Newton's laws?
Yeah.
Newton's laws show it's rising. So
if Newton's laws show it's rising, then why didn't they just come out and say Newton proved that it was rising?
Because they need gravity for two things, for the globe and for space exploration spending. They need it, control. And then they'll ask, well, if it's rising, like what's on the outside? And if you say, well, I can't go past like 60 degrees south latitude, they're like, well, you don't have a model, so you're all full of it. And it's just the same old stuff. It's the same stuff.
It is the same old stuff.
Yeah.
No, I get it. You guys are trying to advance. You're trying to
take it to the next level. Like I said, the last 5 or 6 minutes, that's all me. Mm-hmm. That's all like, okay, what does this mean? I was like trying to figure it out beyond the obvious like flame demonstrations that William does. And and I give him a lot of credit. William, he won't talk about these side bars like the speed and the causation, stuff like that. He'll very, very, very limited talk. He keeps it to the basic physics, and he still gets battered with, well, but I've been going to school a long time, and what degrees do you have? And that's what the answer is.
He seems intelligent. I just don't. I don't know. I'm not 100%. I still feel like it's flat and stationary. Like, doesn't feel like we're moving at all. But like, I guess those experiments do show like how it doesn't move as it's falling, and then once it touches the ground.
The point is buoyancy. A buoyant object moves in the direction of the force. That's the bottom line, and physics shows that.
Okay. So
it could be that if the upward Earth theory is correct, it could be that we're in an enclosed system and that enclosed system is rising.
Yeah, I don't.
And the enclosed system doesn't move at all. It's like
I don't know, but
exactly.
I know that people who are more advanced than I am say yes, it's the whole thing, including our celestial observation. The whole deal is rising, but I don't know.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Nice. Well,
good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah. I put the link out. Is there anybody that wants to come on and show anything else on this, or ask him any questions before we go? Because I'm just going to keep it short. It'll get more views like that. It's not like I have a whole show put together that I can go on for like 6.5 hours. But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming on.
And there's more experiments and things out there. We can continue this on another time too.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're all gonna, we all do our own research, and I'm sure we're all gonna dig for different things and find, my show. We constantly, some nights we come on and we constantly change topics the whole show, like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then some nights we do a whole one topic show, like tonight.
Oh, hey, what do you guys think about there's the whole Obama investigation?
I don't know what's going on with that.
Have you guys heard anything?
I ignore it. I ignore politics, but what happened?
Yeah, I ignore politics too, but when they say there was possible arrests involved, I had to check it out.
Oh, really? They're going to arrest someone? They're going to arrest Obama? When is it going to happen?
I don't know. It could all just be some kind of hoax.
I feel like if the cops are going,
I don't know.
I feel like if the cops are going to arrest someone, if they're going to arrest someone, they don't threaten to do it. They just show up and arrest you.
You don't arrest your friends.
Like that's like, hey, I'm coming to arrest you next Thursday, Singe Man, at 8 p.m. You waiting for me? Were you waiting for me with the handcuffs on?
Yeah, I'll have my lawyer right here, and then. I know they're so weird. They're all friends. They're laughing their ass off.
At this point, it's going to be either AI or a realistic mask anyway. It's like Biden's third hand on the podium and the Pope disappearing before he goes through a curtain. And what else?
There you go.
Exactly.
The world stage has gotten more technologically advanced.
That video Feed Your Mind made recently about Trump says he's going back to the moon, and he said that we're going back to the moon. He said that they're gonna put a moon base on the moon, and then we're gonna go to the ISS and then the moon.
That's a way to make money, dude. If you can get someone to bet against you on that, you can win every bet,
bro.
And then he said after we go to the moon, we're going to Mars.
No, that's a really good way to make money. Just bet someone that it won't happen, and you'll make every 2 years. You'll make a bunch of money.
Oh, remember when Jaron did that?
Win every bet.
Jaron did that.
What did he do?
He put out a bet on some kind of website that allowed you to do this, and it was like some about them going back to the moon. It was the bet about them going back.
Never happens. That's a sure.
So yeah, he ended up winning whatever the money was.
And then some. Yeah. Okay. Right, and then people are going to catch on, and they're not going to bet, or but the reasoning will be like they don't trust. I don't know. They'll come up with some reasons.
So,
Sharing
anything else?
really think it's going to happen.
All right.
Bet
We'll
your
do
whole
this. We'll
life
do this.
savings on it, right? You'll bet everything you own on it, right? No? Oh, okay.
Fine. Any questions in the audience? Anybody? Anybody want to do anything else? Final thoughts?
Oh, really? We're already over tonight, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing a long show about this. We
Final
already had him on.
thoughts?
Unless someone in the audience that wants to come up and say anything else about Rising Earth and show us.
Oh, okay, I
Or,
thought we were going to talk about other stuff.
we're just interviewing him. I mean, it's not really like it's not one of our shows tonight. We were just interviewing him.
Okay.
But
Hold on.
if someone else wants to
go
come
find-
on, or if anybody wants to come on and say something against Rising Earth, either or, speak up.
We had someone coming on.
Okay.
Who was that? That was good.
It did go good.
Like,
The thing is,
little
with these
controversy.
type of streams, they'll get more views if we keep it short. More
Okay,
people,
true.
yeah. If it's long, people don't even bother clicking.
And
People-
it'll be,
oh, it's only an hour.
downloadable,
Oh,
too,
it's
if it
only an
gets
hour long.
live.
Angela Carson should come on.
So my final thoughts is this: when I first heard about this Rising Earth thing, I got angry at you guys. I flipped out on everybody because it went against the Bible. Right? It went against the biblical cosmology, and I was pissed. But and every time I talk to anyone about it, it's like upward vector, this, no acceleration in free fall, this and that and the other thing, and I'm like, I don't even understand what they're saying, right? So, and then I got like an attitude, like, oh, well, you're just not smart enough to understand it, and like that made me feel like, oh, what is this, like the globe all over again? Like, you're not smart enough to do the globe math. You know what I mean? Like curvature, whatever, right? Same shit, right? But no, because then I talked to Angela about it, and she kind of explained it, and I was kind of like, okay, I already got the it could be a bubble rising in water thing. I got that. But if we're going up, everything would be going down, right?
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
everything in contact
Alrighty.
with the earth would be, yes.
So basically at first I thought these rising earthers were like trying to come in at the same time as the final experiment with their fake 24-hour sun nonsense. We didn't go to Antarctica. You can't go to Antarctica. And then, I thought they were just coming in to ruin the community. I was like, okay, so they're hitting us with rising earth, right? And this other one, the 24-hour sun, all at the same time from different
what
angles,
about?
different
There's
groups.
there's no
I
trees
felt
on Earth.
attacked. I
There's
felt
no
like it was
forest
an
on
attack.
Earth, dude. Dude, there's no forest on Earth.
All right, let me finish talking. I was passionate about about flat Earth. I'm passionate about flat Earth, and when I see someone in the community, because they help me out so much, and I love it, and I'm just kind of like, I don't want people to come in and completely destroy our movement, right? But then when I talked to Angela, I realized that they're just trying to explain how gravity works. They're not trying to change the flat Earth model. They're not trying to. It's not what I thought it was.
We don't have
They're
a
just
model.
Simply, it's basically like this is how gravity works, where
No
it's
one
rising
knows.
up and everything falls down. Right?
If everything is rising, the ball is not a thing at all. So it's the globe killer is what it is. It can't be an expanding ball. It just can't.
It's a globe killer. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready for my final thoughts. Okay,
All right,
so my final thoughts basically have to do with. Okay, basically, I will just want whatever is in those UFOs coming through the space. Okay, space guys. I want outer space guys to come and conquer the Earth and make humans their pet, because I would like to have one of those little beds with my name on it.
A pet bed? You want a pet bed with your name on it? A dog bed?
Yeah, that'd be great. So I would like them to conquer the
Nancy!
Earth.
Nancy! Send
give
Singe
me a
Man
pet
one of
bed.
the Boston Ray dog beds that we have in the back.
Human size.
We have them stockpiled back there, bro. I didn't know you
But I
made
need
one.
an alien owner, though. Take me for walks.
All right. Well, that was a good show. Thank you everybody for showing
Oh,
up.
hey, Ray.
Yeah, what's
You got
your
final
final
thoughts?
thoughts?
My final thought is it's a 30-second video that I just put it in the private chat.
Oh, okay. We'll do it.
That's my final thought.
Okay.
It's a good one.
All right. Give it a sec. It's a commercial.
Does that make Angela laugh? I think I did.
Nice. Okay, this is Rye Russ's final thought. I'm gonna play one last video about gravity on the way out because since we came in with Eric Dubé, we'll leave with Eric Dubé. But this is Rye Russ.
Yeah, right on.
Watch the bottom. Doesn't move.
That's just potential energy, man.
What does it mean? It doesn't move. What does it mean?
It doesn't move, bro.
It
So
means
what is that?
it
I
doesn't
don't get
move.
it.
It means it doesn't move. That's cool. Though.
But how does that
Wow,
equate
dude.
to the Earth?
What I'm seeing is an awesome camera work because you have to have a really good camera to get that.
I mean, I can sit here for hours watching this.
You gotta have a really good camera
You guys,
for that, dude.
you guys are spoiling me now.
Man, I want that camera. It does that.
Wait. All right, hold on. But
That's like
it
a
does
$10,000
move. What do you mean it doesn't move? It moves.
The
oh,
bottom.
wow,
Look at
oh,
the
wow,
bottom.
this
The bottom's
fall.
not moving.
Until it hits, yeah.
Right here, it's
Obviously.
not moving.
That's crazy. It's just like sitting there.
I know.
on
How does
nothing.
it do that, though? How does it do
That's
that?
pretty cool.
Food for thought.
What does that
pretty
prove? That
cool.
we're rising? That the Earth is rising? Does that prove that the Earth is rising? To
Or
you?
maybe it's showing that it's not.
Let me ask CallFourZero. What do you
It's
think
showing
that
that
shows?
it's got a good camera.
Is that the
is what
same
I
type of
see.
idea of what you were showing CallFourZero? Is it?
I talked to Lucky Haskins 4 or 5 months ago, and he
Yeah, Lucky's a great
adamantly is
guy.
against rising upward vector.
Yeah.
And a slinky or something like that was used to show like a force. And he said, I'm throwing that out. It's loaded. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm throwing it out. It's loaded.
Well, what I'm saying is like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but like a lot of us old school flat earthers come from the Christian flat earth groups, which proved that, we were taught that anything that goes against the Bible is anti-Bible. Anything that's anti-Bible is anti-God. Anti-Christ.
Because I don't see it that way. Because I don't need a book to find God.
Does that include the Mandela effect?
Shout out to Angela Baby Carson.
I mean,
have a great night.
I don't know. I'm just referring to more or less the Hebrew. I'll put it up on the screen.
I'm a heathen barbarian, but I'm really close to God. I talk to him all the time, so I never won't
There you
go to.
go.
I mean, I've gone to church.
You've got a
but,
personal relationship.
I don't go to church.
Well, yeah, let's do this.
I think that
this is going to be good.
I think that
So
people
this
that
is
don't
what
have a
those of
relationship
you
with
that are
God
wondering.
need to
This
go
is
to
what
church,
I
'cause you gotta
believe.
get a relationship with God. You better go.
I believe in the biblical cosmology. You see this? The biblical cosmology refers to the ancient Hebrew understanding of the universal structure, which differs significantly from the modern scientific cosmology. You see it? It says the Earth is depicted as a flat circular disk, often described as being surrounded by water. So surrounded by water. So this doesn't really make it clear if it's rising, though. You know what I mean?
Maybe we're in a bubble that's
trying to
floating
get
that's
big.
floating in water, and that's why it's rising.
Oh,
Here we
dude,
go.
I love it.
Ancient Hebrew cosmology.
I'll tell you guys something in a
Human
second.
beings
You guys are
often
gonna laugh.
presume our own worldview when trying to make sense of the message or a text. Is anyone
the
willing to
rising
argue the
bubble
basis
theory.
of- Let me see.
Yo.
The name
Well,
is true.
when I was
I'm just
5,
saying if there's any
I can
way.
distinctly remember standing
Here it
around
is.
with my other 5-year-old friends, and we were discussing where we were, and we were joking around that we could literally be a speck underneath God's fingernail.
So what you guys are saying?
This is the
CallFourZero,
5-year-olds, dude. This is
Nice.
5-year-olds.
Hey, Ray.
As deep and
Ray,
heavy as
don't
we are now.
Ray.
5-year-old.
Ray,
always got
I'm not a you guys. It's just me. Okay.
All right. So what you're saying is,
What am I saying?
Good call.
that it looks like this, but it's rising.
Did I say? I didn't say that.
Rising and rising.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, because this is what I believe. I believe it looks like this,
I've been wanting to say that all night.
and that's the biblical cosmology. That's what the ancient Hebrews put.
The
I don't know.
sea
That's
is
what
rising.
that's
It's
what I believe.
rising.
So, for me, if it was rising, it would have to be this rising, or something like that. Anyways,
It's good.
all right.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. We'll have another show
Okay.
soon.
Take care,
Have
everybody.
a great night.
I'm gonna play this on the way
Thanks,
out.
guys.
Yeah,
Good to
later.
meet you. CallFourZero.
Yeah, come on and
thanks.
come on another night when I put the link out if you're there.
Yeah, the mud flood is a very interesting topic. There's something going on there.
100%.
Oh yeah, I love the mud flood. There's so many different topics, mud flood research and old world research and all kinds of stuff like that I cover, man. And it's
Melted
like
bricks.
yeah, we do the melted brick thing too. We do it all. We cover everything.
Gravity is an unproven theory made into an assumption and treated as a fact. The entirety of astrophysics begins with the assumption that gravity exists, then continues forward.
Eat your socks. Audio check. Audio check. Shout out to Mr. Super. Yes. Yep, that's right. There's no audio on the video, Ray.
No
Hey,
audio
you-
audio the entire time.
Yeah,
The
you
entire-
didn't get my message?
No.
Oh, I could have been telling you my Vladimir Zelensky joke.
You could have told us your life story.
Did you know? Did you know that? Did you read in chat about my?
You know, there should have been
Vladimir-
audio though.
my
There should have been
Vladimir
audio.
joke.
There's no reason why there shouldn't be audio because I'm not sharing
Good.
that way. Let's see.
Good
Tell me
point.
if you can-
Tell me if you can hear it now.
Okay, let's restart.
Negative.
Made into
I can
an
hear it.
Yes.
Okay.
as a fact. The entirety of astrophysics begins with the assumption that gravity exists and continues forward. It is in complete violation of sound scientific reasoning to bypass necessary verification aspect of science and regard it as fact. If we were to allow this violation of the necessity of proof required for gravity, science would immediately lose all its foundation
There it goes.
because anything goes at that point. We can all acknowledge the fact that sometimes when we do our laundry, a sock comes up missing and is nowhere to be found.
Shout
We
out to
don't have a
Eric
sound
Dubé,
explanation for this, so maybe we invent one. Gnomes.
the
Let's now
Godfather.
declare that because socks go missing, and we don't know why, that it is
The
necessary
Godfather.
enough proof that it must be gnomes taking our socks. Thenceforth, it becomes acceptable to claim it a fact that whenever a
See,
sock
you
is
can take
missing
any
from a
famous
load of
person and
laundry,
make a joke
that
out
it
of
was
him.
taken by
Eric
gnomes.
Dubé is the
Even
Godfather.
me,
Now
I can make a joke out of anyone.
Let me make you an offer I
Now, the
can't
purpose of this
refuse.
text is to
Nice.
introduce you to alternative
He's
valid
the
reasons
master.
for
He's
why
also
things
a
fall,
master of
fall,
yoga.
and rise, using only concepts that have been or
Oh,
can
okay.
be observed or verified, centering around the concepts
See,
of relative density.
a lot
There's
of
some hot
flat earth,
chicks in the yoga
Where this
classes. I should
definition
go
is
take
there
one.
need or room for some
a lot of
active
flat earth
force called
martial
gravity.
arts masters out
The
there.
example with the gnomes and missing socks
Shout out to the
sounds
flat earth
ridiculous
martial arts
and is
masters
meant
out
to,
there.
but this example follows strictly
I
the
tried.
guidelines
Oh, we're
set
listening
upon
to
us
this. It's
if we
kind of low,
allow
I guess.
unproven assumptions
Yeah,
to
it's
lead our
old.
physical
audio.
It's a
sciences.
good video though.
To relate that back to
Okay,
gravity,
I'll shut up.
one has to realize the same steps were followed in defining gravity. An apple drops, and Sir Isaac Newton didn't know why, and couldn't rationally explain why with the current verifiable
Shout out to
scientific
Barbara.
information, so he made up a force called gnomes. Gravity. Up until this current day, gravity has never been detected, proven, observed, or even consistently mechanically defined. Since its conception, the theory of gravity has been described in three distinct ways. First, by Newton as an inherent property of all matter, making all matter attracted to all other matter. Then later by Einstein as the curvature of space-time. And then finally by quantum theorists as a result of hypothesized subatomic particles called gravitons. If gravity was actually an inherent property of all matter, just imagine if that were the case. Do you think if you threw a handful of marbles in space, that all the marbles would start orbiting each other and stick to one another? Do you
Quicksand?
think they would then begin orbiting around and
Is that
sticking to
quicksand?
you, the relatively much more massive object? So everything you throw out into space would eventually just come back like a boomerang? Really? Scientism apologists will say that gravity is too weak between objects of human-sized
I want to see
proportions
boats do
to
that.
exhibit any noticeable attraction to one another. But if that's the case, then how were the initial molecules attracted to one another that then later formed the Earth? If there is no observable attraction between a baseball and a tennis ball, then what causes the original hydrogen and helium atoms to attract one another? Let's consider the second theory that gravity is actually a bend in space-time. This term, space-time, which Einstein created, claims that points
thought
in
you were
space
ending
are
the
now
show.
defined as events.
Yeah, this
And
last
time
video,
is
Cinch.
now a fourth physical dimension
Okay.
existing
This is the
alongside
outro.
length,
Wow, that's a
breadth,
great
and
picture.
thickness. As Einstein critic Gerard Hickson
That's
wrote
art.
in his book Kings
Even if
Dethroned,
it's bullshit.
while claiming time as a fourth dimension, Einstein explains that by dimension we must understand merely one of four independent quantities which locate
I like
an
a lot of
event in
things just because they
space.
look cool. I don't care
This
if
is
it's
to
even
imply
fake.
that the other three dimensions, which are in common use, are independent quantities, which is not the case. for length, breadth, and thickness are essentially found in combination. They coexist in each and every physical thing, so that they are related.
Einstein married his
Hence,
cousin.
they are not independent quantities. On the contrary, time is an independent quantity. It is independent of any one or all the three proportions of material things. It is not in any way related, and therefore cannot be used as a fourth dimension. The third and latest definition of gravity comes from quantum theorists who have created hypothesized subatomic particles that no one has ever seen called gravitons. In other words, they're passing it off onto the only field of science, quantum theory, where it is explicitly claimed that anything is possible, and which translates over to, we are now free to postulate anything we want beyond any logical structured field of science, and the guidelines that normally negate incorrect ideas about the universe are now lifted, making us exempt from scrutiny and rebuttal. Seriously, how do you already have a name for something you haven't even found yet? In short, gravity is simply nowhere to be found, and they're just trying to push its existence beyond the scope of any field of science, so we never arrive at the answer. And they do this because there is no answer, and as science progresses, it is forming concrete, demonstrative proof that gravity does not exist in the realms in which they claim it does, so therefore they have to push it just beyond our grasp every time we get close. That's the nature of their so-called proofs for gravity. They conceptualize it, name it, define physics around it, and then leave out the crucial step of discovering it. This is not science. It is science fiction. Discovery and demonstration in science are the most crucial factors, not ones that can be skipped or held off until a further time. Now I know what your smartass is saying. Yeah, it's been detected. Watch this pen drop. But in order for that to be factual, you have to prove against all other rationale the reason that pen drops is uniquely the act of gravity and nothing else. To make matters even worse on you, by definition of gravity, you have to prove how all matter attracts all other matter indefinitely, and how that concept is why the pen is falling towards the ground. Imagine an empty plastic balloon dropping to the ground because gravity pulled it. Now, let's add mass to that empty plastic balloon, thus increasing the force of gravity. But this mass we add is gaseous, helium. Now let's release this once dropping balloon with the added mass of helium, which increases the force of gravity, and what happens? The balloon goes up? If gravity is pulling everything down towards the Earth, including the empty plastic balloon, why should adding more mass in the form of helium to that balloon suddenly cause gravity to be completely negated, allowing the balloon to rise? There is no force in physics that would propel an object in one direction, and if you increase that force, it sends the object completely in the opposite direction. It's just a fact of nature. If X amount of forces push an object Y amount of feet, then increasing X will only increase Y in the same direction.
It looks like he's
assuming
crazy if
both
he just
X
walked in and
forces
saw
are
someone
also
dropping
in the
stuff
same
in there.
direction.
He's like
So
a
if the force
crazy
of
man.
gravity pulls the empty balloon down, then adding mass to the balloon only increases the force of gravity in the same direction. Yet the balloon travels completely against gravity all the way up into the sky and requires no fuel or energy input to do so. If gravity is a downward acceleration, then why would anything move upwards? Mainstream science claims that the reason the balloon moves upwards is because of buoyancy, which is a result of the heavier, more dense air being pulled under the helium balloon, thus making the balloon rise up, right? But on the flip side, don't they claim that all objects of different masses fall at the same rate? So why would gravity pull air molecules down harder or faster than it would the helium balloon if objects of different masses all fall at the same rate? Quite simply, a helium balloon is not pulled to the ground, as there is no mythical pulling force, nor is there a downward directional bias. Everything seeks its relative density with the medium surrounding it, and that is all. A feather and an anvil will both fall at different rates because one is radically denser than the air, while the other is not. This debunks the supposed uniform speed of acceleration due to gravity, 9.8 meters per second squared, which would more accurately be labeled something like the maximum acceleration towards density equilibrium. As long as something has enough mass and is aerodynamic enough to negate the air resistance of the fall, objects will fall at the same rate of approximately 9.8 meters per second squared. When in a vacuum chamber, the factor of air resistance is removed completely, so everything, even feathers, balloons, and dandelion seeds, will fall at the same rate. So, for example, a hammer and a feather have different masses, but fall at the same rate in a vacuum. This shows that mass is not the deciding factor of why things fall at the rate they do. This is shown to be true because if you change the mass, the rate of descent is not affected. Now, what they are falling through is the same medium, a vacuum. So let's change the medium and see if that changes the rate of descent.
Check
If
it
we
out,
change
Rye.
the medium to air, the hammer very slightly changes
Nice.
its rate of descent, and the feather more drastically changes its rate. If we change the medium again to water, the hammer drastically changes its rate of descent, and the feather would begin floating. Therefore, the change in rate of descent of objects
So it has to do with the
clearly
medium
has
it's
nothing
in.
to do with mass, and has everything to do with the object's relative density to the
The
medium
medium.
surrounding it. Objects of different masses
Oh.
fall at the same rate in a vacuum because they are falling
Is that-
through the same
wait,
medium, and
why
the
is a
rate in
psychic
which they
called a
do
medium?
so is dependent on
Oh,
their relative
psychics are called
density
mediums.
compared to
Let me
that
look
of
at
the
that.
medium. Gravity is said to attract all matter with mass towards all other matter with mass. Now, if gravity is strong enough to pull an empty balloon down, then it must be strong enough to pull even lighter, less massive things, for the simple fact that mass is the measure of resistance something has to forces. Since gravity is a monopole inward pulling force, and more massive objects are less affected by the momentum caused by it, then gravity should have no trouble pulling helium particles towards the center of the Earth. They should in fact be much less trouble than pulling the molecular chains comprising rubber elastic polymers that constitute a toy balloon. Therefore, there should never be any anti-gravitation motions by any matter, seeing as gravity is only pulling one way and uniformly across all molecules. Think of a flowing current in a river. Everything you throw in the current will either go in the direction of the current, approaching zero as the object gets more massive, but what you won't ever have is an object you throw in the current, and without any energy spent, it travels against the current, especially lighter or less dense objects.
Medium means middle.
This anti-gravitational movement defies other known sound laws of physics and only does so
Latin
because they made a wrong
means
assertion
middle.
and they fudge in gravity
So if you're
to
a
piece
medium,
together
psychic
all the
medium, you're in the
violations of
middle
other known laws of
between
physics
life and
that
death.
don't allow for such illogical motions or phenomena. Rather than
Hmm.
contriving this counterintuitive
Oh,
nonsense they call gravity, let's look at the world as if it's a flat plane going on infinitely up and infinitely down. If one is to assume the universe is infinite, then it is not in violation of any action against infinite properties to say that an infinite universe means there's an infinite amount of matter, and to arrange this infinite matter to form what we observe to be our reality, which is that there is a density gradient in which we exist, where all matter below us is more dense, and all matter above us is less dense. Now, rather than assume the existence of having a gaseous atmosphere hovering around a ball in a vacuum, which violates many laws of physics, instead, imagine we live on an infinite plane with a density gradient. Solid matter forms the land below us. Less dense matter forms the fluids on top of that. And even less dense matter forms the gaseous atmosphere we have above the solid surface. Now, it's not to say that space is a vacuum, but rather, as we climb further up the density gradient, eventually we reach a point where any particle is more dense than the lack thereof any particles, or the void. Since the void is less dense than any gaseous particle, or any particle at all, it supersedes any particle, and thus arranges itself above the particle atmosphere. Space, in this instance, would not be a vacuum, but rather a gradual taper in density up to the point of there only being a void. And this void, since the universe is assumed infinite, goes on forever, simply for the fact that any particle would be sunk down below it. Also, I made the mistake of saying that gaseous particles are the least dense form of matter, when in fact highly charged plasmas are actually the least dense form of matter. And seeing that these plasmas have an excited and high energy level, that, along with the fact that heat rises, as well as less dense matter rises, you then have scattered bodies of radiant plasmas in the skies, much further than the gaseous atmospheric band of gas molecules. And these plasmic luminaries exist in an environment of such little friction that they themselves move about at such immense velocities, whereas to create the stellar motions. Now one should take into account that plasmic matter also forms magnetic qualities, either positively or negatively charged, or both at dipoles, so much so as to cause these objects to spin individually and also rotate collectively around the central northern magnetic pole in the center of the flat Earth plane. So none of this proposed violates any known laws of physics and offers no contradictions as to its mechanics and function, which is more than can be said about the ludicrous ball Earth model, which is cram-packed with violations, fallacies, and incoherence of known physical laws. To think that the
Yeah. The true kings just walk up to the mic and grab it, cause spitting fire isn't just a bad habit. Like the hamburgers they serve that you just gotta have it. Like astronauts blasting off to other planets. Wascally rabbits. They're green enough, you get it a fuck. These kids nowadays are so enslaved, minds so depraved. Spend their time going to raves. Not even old enough to shave, but they know every planet's name in outer space. But outer space is fake. Wait. What about all the pictures NASA takes? Master. I wanted to create a rap song, a fat track mom that slaps long into the night's black arm. These scents are the all-in-one, about to swallow my tongue. If the hollow from guns hollows my lungs, almost I'm done. But before we go, I gotta smash this one out the park, 1,000 yards. This ain't no Mario Karts. I got Bowser bars, driving across the country with a pound of tar. To someone's guns done, blazing down this house of cards. And if I disappear, then sound the alarms. Either my body's floating in a river or found and unharmed down at Flat Earth Farms, trimming that bush. He been trimming that bush, yo. Competing for that green leaf, winning that kush. Vision's been shushed and my hearing's been getting blindsided. Like the rhymes I've been writing, spitting lines inspired by fire and lightning. Cut the day in half and divided the night into 2 parts, old half visible in the new dark. Cruising in the blue car with my crew starving. Looking for Xannies but settle for booze par. Got a short fuse, deck full of loose cars. Yeah, they keep asking, well what about the pictures that NASA takes? While I laugh and straight, continue to masturbate. When I'm at Sassburger paraded, the language you can't understand makes you think the Earth's an elliptical spheroid, but the shit's more like a pancake. You hypocritically weird boy, but you better get your shit in gear, boy. The antecedent for gas pressure's not a mere ploy. Bury your solid containers, are you aware of this? The wheels in the sky keep turning, every season turn. Chariots, it's getting hilarious. CGI's been nefarious. The new year begins on 3/22 where the Aries is, but you smoking dick dust where the fairies is. I'm serious, the true kings is very pissed. Fairy tales that you fanboys is married with. Take your hands out your pockets, palms is too hairy, kid. Too hairy, too high. We very supplied with military knives. Blow your spinning cherry balls to the high heavens. Heathens, brethren, seedlings. So, if you like this song, go sing along. Or keep your hands in your pockets. Open up your optics, it's getting toxic. Spitting logic, level heads off their rockets. Rockets, stop it, mic drop. Shit, hands in pockets.
Starving, open up your mind, never know what you find. Starving, so you call on the kings, cause truth we brings. Starving, open up your mind, never know what you find. Starving, so you call on the kings, cause truth we brings.
Boston race compromise? Fuck you, compromise. I never compromise, rhyming clever thoughts of mine. The heavy ostracized, don't end up hospitalized. I'm highly monetized, with the public hypnotized. I'm often criticized, it's time you visualize. The news will trick your mind, sometimes I give advice. I like to improvise, keep it simplified. I got this memorized, I ain't trying to get known. I don't wanna be big, I'm just trying to do what I did as a kid, without splitting your wig. Who sold you Smith & Wesson? Now it's your missing weapon. Pull back, squeeze, and teach a fucking history lesson. While you're sitting waiting for my punchlines, I eat up globies like it's lunchtime. So hand it over like we standing in the lunch line. And hurry up, sucker, cause it's crunch time. She ate on my bonbons and expanded her waistline. The flat earth anthem will never get no airtime, because I talk trash about the Effie app and that's fine. Nevertheless, I'll see y'all on the front line. The flat earth anthem will never get no airplay. It won't even make it up the stairway. Late Night Live is the only place you'll hear Ray. Globies are stuck to the ball because they're gay. But Boston Ray, you be smoking blunts galore. You can sell for sure and bump the floor. Well, that's what I was looking for somewhat. We all believed in the globe, we was young once. From Orlando to the Panhandle, me and Russ can see the earth's flat from any angle. Money going one hand and out the other, and you'll never see money come out the gutter. You won't survive without your brothers, so please be kind and love each other.
Starving, open up your mind, never know what you find. Starving, so you call on the kings, cause truth we brings. Starving, open up your mind, never know what you find. Starving, so you call on the kings, cause truth we brings.
bunch of cops.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Earth is flat. What you gonna do about it? The Earth is flat. What you gonna do about it? The Earth is flat. Now what you gonna do about it? The Earth is flat. Now tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Earth is flat. What you gonna do about it? I thought you knew about it. Would you rather do without it? The Earth's a center. The sun and moon moves around it like a clock. Can you hit a moving target with a rocket? I'm not hard to get along with. Just take a bong hit. Do you serve up any content? The stars are constant. You want a constellation for it? It makes me vomit. We never do get hit by comets. I know you want it. Just leave another useless comment. NASA lost it. The Earth is flat. What you gonna do about it? Earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? The Earth is flat, what you do about it? The Earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? The Earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? The Earth is flat, what you gonna do about it? The Earth is flat, now tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. Tell me what you think you're gonna do about it. You know it's flat. And there is a bunch of us. The blowies munching on a bunch of snuffleupagus. You think it's cute? Then why not cuddle up with us? We know it's flat. Why you making such a fuss? My supper was the fucking best. That's just because the Earth is flat. It hit me like an uppercut to the nuts. The Earth is flat and there's nothing you can do. The Earth is flat and there's nothing you can do. There's a Russian with the crew. Don't forget to brush after your food. Asteroids and asteroids too. The Earth is flat and there's nothing you can do. The Earth is flat, there's nothing you can do about it. The Earth is flat, there's nothing you can do about it. The Earth is flat and there's nothing you can do about it. The Earth is flat, there's nothing you can do about it. The Earth is flat, there's nothing you can do about it. What you gonna do about it? The Earth is flat. What you gonna do about it? The Earth is flat. It's fucking flat. The Earth is fucking flat. The Earth is fucking flat. The Earth is fucking flat.